Bangkok, Thailand, one of the great food cities of the world and home to some of the friendliest people. I'm going to be here for the next 30 days, eating my way across this culturally rich landscape, and I'll be sharing my daily adventures here on this channel. My name is Alex, and you're watching Curated Adventures. All right, so I'm a little embarrassed to say that this is actually only our second time on this trip visiting Banthat Thong Road. And it's a bit of a travesty because this is one of our favorite places to come dine. And it's one of Bangkok's true foodie districts. There are endless dining options down here. We're familiar with just a handful of them. Every place we've ever eaten at has been excellent. And there's one restaurant in particular that we've been meaning to come to. It's right behind me here. It's called Jeh O Chula, and it's a Michelin Bib Gourmand recognized restaurant. Super popular with the locals, always a lineup, which I'm not crazy for lineups, but I'll make an exception for this place. They have pork, like a crispy pork belly and Chinese sausage citrus salad, which is absolute perfection. I'm in love with their wontons. There's a few other items that I'm very keen to try as well. We always like to mix it up a little bit when we go to the same places. But yeah, I think we got to get in there and check it out. So let's check it out. So Jeh O Chula did not disappoint at all. We got our two dishes we came for and also tried their chili shrimp and tofu. And the shrimp were magnificent, but that tofu is the best tofu I've ever had in my life. Yuko says the same thing, which maybe it weighs more coming from her. She's eaten a lot more tofu than I have. Just 11 out of 10 for the tofu. I don't know, like, can you go more than 10? I guess you can. But anyways, very happy with the outcome. Can't wait to go back to Jeh O Chula. It's already on the besties list, but we got a place behind us here, which we discovered a couple weeks ago when we came to Banthat Thong. It's, I hate to say it's a chain, because we don't do chains, but when things are good, they're good. And this place is actually more than good. It's exceptional. They have they do egg tarts. It's called Yolk. We need our fix, man. We need our fix. So I think we got to get in there and check it out. Let's check it out. You know, we're leaving Banthat Thong right now. We're headed home. And I do feel sad because I think we really needed to spend more time down here. There's just so many great places, but with a little luck, we'll be returning in November and we'll get to do a deep dive on this neighborhood, spend more time here, but also do some more recording so we can show you more of what's here. This is a dynamic neighborhood. It's a foodie neighborhood. I love Banthat Thong Road and could be my favorite district for eating, I think, in all of Bangkok. But anyways, time to go home and we'll see what's next in the episode a little bit later. All right, so it's a new day today and it's also my last day here in Bangkok. Tomorrow morning we're gonna be getting up early, hopping on a train, 2.5-hour train ride to a place called Hua Hin, which is where we're gonna spend 7 days before returning here for a day and then flying off to Kuala Lumpur where we'll spend a month and a half. So this is the last day, so I want to cram in as much stuff as I can, get my last fix, and I'm very happy to see the place behind me here is open because I've been trying to come here a few times and it's been closed every time. So I'm very excited it's open. I think we need to get in there and check it out. So let's check it out. All right, so that was a very nice way to start the day. A delicious bowl of noodles, and I came down here early actually to avoid the crowds. That place apparently can get really busy around lunchtime. I've personally never seen it busy because every time I've gone it's closed. But today was my day and I got a table, no problem. Got the noodles that I wanted, and I got to say that pork belly was, the flavors were right where I want them, but the crispiness is also noteworthy. The stewed pork, it's definitely about the Chinese 5 spices. That's the most prominent flavor, but the pork's very tender. And then you have that broth, which I didn't find to be all that sticky, but a very nice broth nonetheless. And then what I also really liked was the sesame seeds on top. I know it's just decoration in most dishes, but here they really played a role. You really could taste them, and it was, you know, a really excellent choice for that dish. So overall, very happy with it. Very excited to keep this journey going. So let's go find some other place to eat. All right, so we wandered quite a bit from our last destination, and it's kind of intentional because I wanted to come to this neighborhood. We're in Talad Noi. It's good to burn off some calories from time to time, and the walk's definitely going to help with that. But we got a few spots we wanted to check in Talad Noi for this episode, and if you see the bao bun behind me, we're at a bao place, which was on our list of places to check out. I do love bao. They make bao. Let's go get some bao. right, so those were two very delicious baos, and over the course of my life, I've had lots of baos, and I guess there's two things that can really be said about baos is the bread itself, the bao, can sometimes be too sweet. I do like a little sugar because I do want some sweetness, especially if the ingredients inside are salty. It's nice to have that contrast of elements, but in this case, it wasn't too sweet, it's perfect. And then I had the other one is the fillings. So fillings can sometimes, I mean, if you get what you pay for, right? So sometimes you get a cheap bao and it's good, but you know, it's kind of cheap fillers. But in this case, the pork one was, I'll say, very good to excellent. But the pork with salted egg, for me, is the absolute winner. Outstanding. It has the right amount of saltiness, has a good depth of flavor. It would be the one that I would get if I came back, though. If I did come back, I'd probably like to bring Yuko with me because she likes the taro ones, and they have taro here. They also have a vegetarian one, which I'm guessing is probably tofu, and so maybe I'll give that one a try. I'm not going to go back and have more because I've got a few other places I want to go try, so I'm just going to leave it at the two, but definitely worth coming down here if you're in the area and grabbing a couple baos, nice light snacks for the daytime. All right, well, we got to go to our next stop and eat something else. Let's go. All right, so we definitely are lucky here because this is actually my third time here at Henryfry. Usually it's a 3 to 4 hour wait to get a table. You have to get a reservation, I guess, is the process for getting tables here. So anyways, we arrived just as they opened and nobody's in there yet, so they gave us a table and we're about to have some fried chicken. So let's go in and enjoy some fried chicken. So very delicious chicken, and it was really like two huge pieces of chicken. I've never seen chicken pieces that big in my life. Very nice batter, very crispy, and then super juicy on the inside. Now, I've had a lot of really great fried chicken in my lifetime, but if I made a top 10 list, I would have no trouble putting that on there. It's just worth the price of admission all day long. Very nice fries that come with it. The sauce is a bit of a miss for me because it's just a bowl of sweetness and doesn't really add or contrast with any of the fries or the chicken. Then you have that pickle, which again is just a sweet pickle. For me, I like acidic pickle. That's, I guess, my preference. But all in all, just a great fried chicken dish, and you know, one I would have again in a heartbeat. But I also ordered a root beer. I saw in the cabinet there was just a few bottles sitting in there right beside the Cokes, and cost a little bit more than the Cokes. I think it was 110 baht or something for root beer, which is just like huge jump over the Cokes. But I asked if it was made locally, and he said yes. So I'm like, okay, well, let's have it then. And I opened the bottle, poured a glass, had a sip, and it just tasted really natural. So I went online and looked, and sure enough, it's made with 100% natural ingredients, you know, no coloring, just all natural, and very delicious. And you know, root beer is always the right answer when you're having fried chicken. So very happy I got the root beer today. But anyways, I only ate half my order. I'm taking the other half to Yuko, so that means I've got room for more. So why don't we go check out another spot, or maybe two, who knows? Maybe I can do two. Either way, let's go. All right, so we've arrived at our destination here, which is Mother Roaster. Our visit here will complete my checklist of places I wanted to check in Talad Noi. There are a lot of cafes down here, and I've been to a handful of them, maybe most of them. And so we'll go in, have a coffee, and then maybe have a little talk about what Talad Noi is all about. Let's check it out. All right, so we're all done exploring Talad Noi, today being the third day that we've come to check out Talad Noi. I've been to all the cafes that I'd hoped to visit while I was here, and you know, I think the neighborhood is really worth coming to visit. There's lots of little alleyways. It's kind of like a little labyrinth, and street art everywhere, and then you have a lot of you know, mechanic shops, you know, full of car parts and machine work being done. So in terms of walking through, you know, visitor experience, it's definitely worthwhile to come down here. If you're a serious coffee drinker, here's what I think. I think going to Timo Tintin to get a coffee and then taking it and walking around is probably the best option. I didn't really understand Timo Tintin as a cafe, so I personally wouldn't go and sit in the cafe. It seems to be confused between a cafe and an art gallery. I don't think it does either one successfully, but it does have really great coffee, no question about that. The next one, I guess, would be Citizen Tea Canteen, which I visited on my last trip down here. And my issue is I'm not really into Thai tea, but if you've never had Thai tea or if you love Thai tea, I strongly recommend Citizen because the quality of the teas is excellent. There's a lot of thought and care that's been put into that whole business, and definitely worth, you know, taking your money to spend there. The other one would be Sieng, which for me is a miss on the coffee and food. Like, it's good, but it's not, you know, when you have all these different options in Bangkok, it's just not memorable food and drink, to be honest. But the space is almost makes it worthwhile. So if you're willing to compromise a little, not a lot, but a little on food and drink, on the quality of coffee, and the flavors of coffee and that, I think Sieng is worth the price because you have this beautiful space. It's almost like being in an art gallery or a museum. There's so many different little rooms and artifacts to look at, and plus you can sit right on the waterfront. If you don't need air conditioning, you can sit right on the river and watch the boats go by. So in that sense, it's definitely worthwhile. And then this last place we went to, I would for sure, I would just give it a miss. That's my opinion anyways. But so if you're here just for one day, maybe no for Talad Noi. If you're here for 3 days or more, add it into your mix, but maybe pick some places to eat after having coffee. Maybe head over to Henryfry. Maybe head over for those bao buns I had earlier, or head into Chinatown. It's only about a 10, 15-minute walk to Chinatown. So, you know, make Talad Noi a part of your day and really get the most of your Bangkok experience. But anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. But I've got so much footage of this area, and I really do want to show you what this neighborhood looks like. So we're gonna skip to that and give you a little sort of slideshow, and then we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.